Walt Disney World down in Orlando, Florida seems to be struggling getting people into the gates, but there's another park, perhaps a better park, depending on how you look at it, that seems to be bringing people in. You could even say that they saved Orlando in 2025. Well, that park is poised to not only grow, but maybe even take market share away from Disney. Let's talk about a very definitive sounding statement from Mark Woodbury at Universal Studios here on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is not only Mr. Vashkai, but also WDW Pro. Pro, I know we're not asking you to be professional about WDW. Can we talk to you about Epic today?
I would love to be Epic Pro for at least today.
Let's do it. Vash, Universal Parks chief, this story out of Blog Mickey says, we're already gaining market share with Epic Universe opening. This came out on September 4th. In a recent Q&A at the Bank of America Media Conference, Universal Destinations and Experiences CEO Mark Woodbury pulled back the curtain a bit on the early performance of Epic Universe. As you may know, Universal Epic Universe opened back in late May in Orlando. Vash, what do we already know about how this has impacted the economic fortunes of the Orlando area?
Oh, absolutely. The Orlando area, I mean, they took in more taxes than just about any other year in which they've really supported these Orlando theme parks. The last, I believe it was the month of June, if I'm not mistaken, but for Comcast especially, they've seen plus 20% increases both year over year and quarter over quarter with the opening of Epic Universe. So, and I think that's not even reflected the whole quarter. I think that was just partial, and I think that was during a lot of the preview window. So this has been a boon, not just for Comcast itself, but also the Orlando market, that's for sure.
Yeah, record hotel occupancy in the Orlando area paired with increased attendance at Epic Universe, record tax revenue from that hotel occupancy, and Disney's not doing so hot. Pro, you might have a little bit more insight than we have.
I'm so confused about this because, we've been covering the fact that Disney seems to have lower wait times this September than they did in September of 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. And yet you guys are here telling me that Epic Universe is crowing about how fast they're growing and changing the economy of Central Florida. What are you guys on about? I mean, listen, I thought it was a dire disaster down there for tourism. Next, you're going to tell me that Florida is breaking records for folks traveling to the Sunshine State. What's going on?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's almost as if the narratives around Orlando are a little different than the shareholders of a certain company are being told. Let's be vague so we don't say anything that is legally actionable there. But there he is, Mark Woodbury, posing like he's taking his senior picture there. He's got his jacket swung over his shoulder. Let's hear what he has to say. Where is the quote? In fact, Woodbury said that Universal is already seeing share shift in the first 2 or 3 months of Epic Universe operations. Yes, so when you look at what we're focused on, this business is really driven by creating a pipeline of great product. The word pipeline there, of course, implies that there's more of it, telling the world that you have it with really breakthrough marketing, and then maybe most importantly, delivering with world-class service across the board to create that awareness, create that intent to revisit, and that's, of course, number one. Continue to drive that. There's so much to unpack in just that statement here. And we covered on the channel the amazing videos that Epic Universe was putting out about the same time that Disney was putting out little Instagram reels with their Imagineers staying at home and making little sketches of little bayou creatures while they're still masked, which that's fine. People have medical conditions. But while these huge production value Epic Universe marketing videos are coming out, Disney throwing out a few Instagram reels here and there. Want to make sure you know that we drew a picture.
Disney wants to bring out some IPs that I don't think excite people. And meanwhile, you've got Mario over there at Epic. People are trying to figure out, is it going to be Luigi's Mansion next? Is it going to be, are we going to get Zelda next? People are just scrambling, trying to find out the next details. Oh, I know, there's going to be another Harry Potter edition. And meanwhile, nobody cares. Nobody cares about Disney's Cars ride in Frontierland. Yeah. People aren't that excited. Listen, if Disney had brought out the Monsters, roller coaster with the doors, if they had brought that out 15 years ago, you would have something. But now, that time is gone. It's past. There's no buzz about that anymore. And frankly, the cost, Disney, I'll say it this way, every time Epic Universal adds something, we don't lose something that people have to suffer through, right? Okay, so the roller coaster that they're tearing down, and we believe to replace it with the Ghostbusters thing over at Universal proper, it's a loss, but it's not like losing Muppet Vision, right?
Right.
It's not like losing Tom Sawyer Island and Rivers of America. So that's the difference here. It's almost completely a net sum gain for Universal Studios every time they add something for people. And at Disney, we have to have like a funeral every time and Disney has all the land in the world. And every time they want to add, they're like, well, we would love to add something, but first we're going to have to give Donald Duck the guillotine up here.
It's amazing that you even bring up Rip Ride Rocket over there at Universal Studios. By the way, my guess is not fantastic. Sorry, they don't have the rights to Fantastic Four at Universal Studios Florida. They have the rights to that over at Islands of Adventure. Sorry to rub salt on the wound if you're from Disney and watching this. Fast and the Furious is what I think is probably going to be replacing Rip Ride Rocket. But when Rip Ride Rocket went down, they brought out things that people were not expecting in order to eulogize and celebrate that ride before it shut down on its final day. Whereas Disney, they're intentionally hiding the closure dates of Splash Mountain so that people don't even know when it's going down, because they don't want the deluge of people coming to celebrate the work of Imagineers that are no longer at the company.
Right, and Bob Iger, their plan is, hey, we're gonna tear out the very last thing that Jim Henson ever did. But I tell you what, we'll give you Kermit, who doesn't sound like Kermit, and we'll do less than par rock songs on Rock and Roller Coaster, sang by some guy who wants to sound like Dr. Teeth in Electric Mayhem. And you're like, no, I don't want any of that. That all sounds terrible. That's how Disney tries to make peace with the fans. It's almost like Bob Iger wants to go over to Splash Mountain right before it's done over with and be like, this is a good place for a bush wee, right before they put in Tiana's.
And when it comes down to it, I think that is probably why we have quotes like this out of Mark Woodbury, that he can confidently say things like, our chief competitor Disney is a strong competitor. I think that he's absolutely correct in saying that, although it's a bit on the complimentary side. They're going to be investing pretty heavily in the market too. I think it's a case of all ships rise with the tide. We'll both drive audience to the marketplace, and we'll be able to take our share of it. But I went one quote ahead. I think we're in a really strong position to continue to drive incremental growth to the overall marketplace to take share in the process of that. I'm going to remove some words here. They're going to take market share right there. That's the entire intent with this right now. Moffett-Nathanson's most recent report says that Disney has about 52 million visitors per year, the entire Walt Disney World resort. And if you look at Universal Studios Florida and Island of Adventure, there are about 20 million visitors per year. Epic Universe is going to take 10 million. The projections are 10 million within the first 3 years. They're going to get 10 million a year. Those same projections have Disney raising a little bit, like 1 million, 2 million. We're not completely sure what the reason is behind that, when it's going to take them a very long time before they're done with any of the projects they're working on right now. And at that point, we're looking at Universal being at 50% of the same number of users as Disney, actually a little bit past 50%. So those 10 million visitors are coming from somewhere. Also paired with this is the fact that Epic Universe has made it clear that they are going to have expansions. They said that they're going to have expansions at all of their parks, let alone the Frisco situation, let alone Universal Great Britain over there. This is a company, and as I've said many times on this channel and on the WDW Pro channel and over on Valiant Renegade, this is a company that Disney doesn't need to worry about Epic Universe. They need to worry about everything that is coming after Epic Universe as well.
That's right. Epic Universe may have expansions done before Disney can even get started. They're still draining that river, I hear, and nowhere near giving a good response to what Universal is bringing to the table.
The best response that they've come out with is, oh yeah, we were aware of Epic Universe. Oh,
we knew about it, heard about it, yeah.
Well, we did all of
ought to
our
do
planning and
something
our
about that.
opening for the 10 years prior. Look at all these investments that we've made. When
Exactly.
You guys
wasn't even on
are
the
being
table.
too harsh. They're going to paint the castle again back to what it was before. That's a big announcement. That's a brand new thing.
Oh no, it's brand new. It used to be silver. Now it's shiny gray.
That's right. Metallic gray, you say? What is that?
Completely different colors.
It's a
All
sliver
right.
close to silver than it was before.
All right. With that being said, we want to throw this to our audience members here. What do you think is going to happen in Orlando over the next 10 years? Do you think that Universal is actually going to get to the point where Disney is scared that they ever going to reach the point where Universal is dominating Disney, not just in Imagineering, but also in attendance? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. There's some who might say you're crazy if you say Universal's going to win this one, and there are others as something that's just a surefire thing that is going to happen. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit the like button if you want to support the channel. It really does help. And if you haven't done it yet, consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.